Hi, happy year of the new. I am going to call this year 2020 We Are One because we are, and it helps me remember. And that is why I do these videos, is because I do choose to ascribe to the construct that we are all one and we are all from source, the same source. And so what I receive, you are capable of receiving, and vice versa. So whether it's you receive it the way I receive it, which is through meditation and shadow work and ritual and synchronicity and whatever else is available, I am receptive to all the ways that Spirit chooses to talk to me, except for in ways that are terrifying, and we can talk about that. So I am interested in knowing, I'm always interested in knowing what you know. What have you received? What do you want to talk about? What are you observing? What are you learning? So at any time, in any of these videos, if you want to comment on any of those things, or you can email me. I believe the email is in my information. If you ever want to talk about anything. And as per usual, I'm not necessarily saying anything that hasn't been said. I'm just saying it today, and I'm saying it in my way. And so if you're receiving this information, maybe you were looking for it, or maybe you would need it and you didn't know you needed it. And if none of that is true, and this does not resonate, you have every freedom to exit now. And have a good day. So I actually would like to start with my prayer that I do every day. Again, if it's not your jam, but you want to hear what I have to say after, just hang out for just a second. It's not that long. Okay, ready? Gods, goddesses, guides, guards, protectors, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, and myself. If it is my greatest and highest good, and in the greatest and highest good of those receiving your messages, I ask please that you be with us all day and always, that you intervene where you deem necessary, you help us be receptive to your guidance, assuming it's not terrifying. You do have to clarify. I'll explain that. Or I do. I ask please that you be with us. Help us find the sense of humor we need to get through the day, the patience we need to get through the day, the awareness we need to get through the day, the clarity we need to get through the day, the joy. Help us find the joy in this day. Please help us be able to face ourselves in truth and with your guidance. We are protected in a shield of light. For the greater good of all concerned, so be it, so it is. It is done, it is done, it is done. Thank you. So I say that because last Samhain, my first Samhain, which is technically October 31st, November 15th, depending upon what practice you use, I began consciously doing ancestor work. And I mistakenly thought that once you have passed over, you know everything. You know how to do everything. And that is not correct. And so I, in conversing with all the ancestors that I could think of and those I don't know, invited them to communicate with me. And they did. And what that was looking like was I had 3 nights in a week's period of time where I experienced what's it called? Sleep paralysis, where I felt like I was being grabbed at. I was calling them sleep paralysis demons, which that has only happened a handful of times in my life. So to happen 3 times in a week, I knew something was up, and I didn't equate it to that invitation immediately. I contacted a friend of mine and was like talking about it in terms of the dreams. She's really great with dream interpretation. And she looked in her way and was like, "You have a lot of people in your house." And I said, "Yes, I invited them." So they weren't reaching out. It was as if like a toddler trying to walk, the grasping. Like maybe no one had asked them. They didn't know that they could try. I don't know. We cleared it up. We understand each other now. And that has stopped. And if you're wondering how that works, how being receptive to spirit so that you have communication, and it's not just ancestors, it's yourself. When I say in the prayer myself, I mean myself, my higher self, which you also have. You have your higher self. That your higher self communicates with you. Your spirit guides communicate with you. Your ancestors communicate with you. Whether or not you are receptive to it is up to you. So that's where you start. Are you receptive to it? Do you want to develop that relationship? Do you want to practice releasing any unconscious bias around that to have that practice go deeper? That is what I'm working on right now. That when I say I am working on my practice, that is what I'm saying. Which leads me into what we're going to talk about this week, which is the darkness, the void. It's a series of synchronicities that happened for me this week that once I went, oh wait, all this stuff happened. This is what we need to talk about. So it started with, I think, and I will tell my therapist this in a little bit. He said to me, that which has been dormant needs to be activated. And I don't know if he realized he was coming from a place of spirit, but he was. Because it's true, and that message has come up. I had a reading done, like 2 years ago, that said the creative well would like to be acknowledged and set free. So clearly I've been working on that for a while. And it might be this. I mean, it's incremental things. Let me impart that upon you when a person is working on a path. Well, just like anything, if you're in school, you don't start school and then you're done with school. There's a path. There's a process. There's learn this thing and that builds on this thing and that builds on this thing. So same idea. So with that, whether or not I consciously took the idea of activating that which was dormant to the next step, or it's just how this went, I made a conscious decision, and I have been making it, to stop dodging the truth, or stop dodging fear, or stop dodging. Sorry, shaking everything. So what does that look like? It looks like standing on a scale and facing the number. That one sucks. But it's good to get clear that maybe you have had too many cookies over the last couple months. Maybe you can eat some more vegetables. Like, that's the next question. You face the thing, you don't like the thing. What can you do? What can I do to shift that energy into something I do like? So if I don't like the number on the scale, I go, okay, what have I been doing? What can I do? I can eat more vegetables. I can be more active. I can make different decisions. Incrementally, moment by moment, day by day, which will ultimately result in a different result. It can't not. That's the joy of it. Once you make the decision to do something else that's in your greater and highest good and it's healthier, it can't not do that for you. But it's up to you. Everything is up to you. My stuff is up to me. So, what else does it look like? Making a decision when I went to the dentist to get a cavity filled, to not ask for the topical numbing cream, which I usually do. And what I learned was it actually makes the insertion of the needle burn more. So it actually doesn't help. It does help that my dentist is a needle ninja. So, I mean, I've done that for years. I've been afraid of that moment for years, and it was actually better. Which is facing it. I am discovering that it's the making the decision to do the thing is the hardest thing. and then you just do the thing. It's like approaching the door is terrifying. You just open the door. Chances are you already know what you're going to look at. So look at it. I'm just astonished at how much time I have spent and energy spent dodging the shit we don't want to look at. Another example, I won't get detailed though because it involves other people, is making the decision to stand up for something I thought was the correct. It was right, but standing up for what I think is right, and just being uncomfortable with that, but doing it anyway. And what I've realized is that a reason I think that people are not able to, qualified, capable of standing up for what's right on a large scale, on all the things we've been seeing over the last, well, forever, we'll talk about the last year, is because people aren't practiced in it. So that would be my prayer, my message out to everybody is if everybody just started dealing with your shit, okay? But yeah, if we all started practicing on a small scale, day by day, little by little, facing the truth, stop dodging, just do it, just look at it. I think that a couple of things would happen. One, we wouldn't have these escalated issues because we would have already handled stuff. We would have already taken care of it. And even if it does come to that, we would all be in a more elevated, healthier, stronger, more grounded place to be able to deal with it. That is a hypothesis, but I think it stands, and I can only practice it in my own life, right? So with all of that, I then had a meditation where Spirit said a lot to me. And when I say that, I mean literally says it to me. Words come into my head. I have learned that it feels like daydreaming. But to not eschew it. I'm being spoken to, whether it's self speaking to me or whomever. Sometimes I'm clear on who it is, sometimes I'm not. So the Spirit said a lot, but the gist of it was fear belongs to the dark, and by facing it, the fear, we give the dark the light it needs to see what it is. So what does that mean? I think it means it feels like fear is a projection of the dark. It's an energy of the dark. It's an emotion from the dark. Some other stuff that Spirit said was that the dark doesn't know what it is, so it has fear. But when we face the fear, it creates illumination, and the dark can see what it is. Which is I don't know what I was going to say, primordial way of looking at it. That's what started sort of a theme of the dark and the void for me this week. Allowing the void, allowing the dark to speak. That it has imagination. It has something to say. And I think about that, like if we keep spinning out because it's dark, it's dark, it's the dark, it's dark night of the soul, it's think of all the different ways to metaphorize the dark and the void for yourself. How do we respond when we feel dark, when we feel in the void, when we feel aimless, when we feel all of the ways we feel that we associate with that? This is a way to look at it. An opportunity to see it differently, a way out, quicker, ideally, a way to work with it instead of against it or be afraid of it. Last night, oh no, so after that, so I'm trying to go in order of the way the synchronicities happened. Going home from work, Tuesday night, I went home a different way for the purpose of maybe seeing something I hadn't seen before, which I did, which was a gem and rock shop that I didn't know existed. And luckily, I had no cars around me and I could pull in. It was easy. And I walk in, and the gentleman who owns the place, after he was finished with his customer, basically walks up to me with two of these, which is a black moonstone, and just goes, "Hold these," and is chatting with me. And I can't. It was literally, I mean, these are nice. They're palm stones, so they feel really good, and the weight is really nice, and they're smooth. And all I can say is the energy just, I could feel it just. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm getting one of these. And I usually shy away from moonstones at all. Back in the day when I used to get them, I would lose them immediately. So I didn't know black moonstone was a thing. Oh, guess what black moonstone is for? The new moon, the black moon, the void. Um, New stuff, new energy. Also, oh, being communicated with, bettering your communication on all levels, in all ways. Um, I just think it's funny. I find crystals do that a lot. If you have something going on in your brain that you need to work on, crystals will come to you. Um, and then the final thing that happened, or not final, it's not over, just I'm talking to you now about it, was last night I was watching one of the tarot readers that I watch on YouTube. And she brought up something about moon cycles that I didn't even know about, which is called void of course. Void of course. I know it sounds like void, of course. That's not what it means. It means, if you don't know, because I didn't know, that in between the parts of the moon cycle, when it's in between going through the houses, it's void of course. So it's in the void. What's happening? That was exactly a time frame. So it happens like every 2 days. Happens a lot. I guess the moon moves through the houses real quickly. So, but that would be when I was having that meditation about the void. Point of note, if you are a person who actively practices manifestation techniques, it would appear that doing it during void, of course, is not the best time because it's void. Stamp the void on there like a check. And I did find a website that gave a calendar. So you could just type in void, of course, calendar for 2021. All of this is just me letting you know, and actually letting Spirit know that I'm listening, that this is how it works for me. This is how my process works at this time. And just for fun, I pulled some tarot cards and a oracle card from The Universe Has Your Back. So this one, I know you can't see it. It says, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about how I see the world. Sorry, my phone is going off. Shh. I made the mistake of looking up health insurance options, and now I'm getting like texts and calls every 8 seconds. It's annoying. I got this card, the Three of Swords. Effectively is, you feel burned, you need to forgive. Or stabbed. Stabbed in the heart. Someone hurt you. Find a way to forgive. And then upside down, King of Pentacles, which is your money is out of whack, or your perception of money is out of whack, or your attention to money is out of whack, and that needs to be set into alignment. So, so deal with it, is what that means. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again soon. Thank you.